Any comments, criticisms, or questions? So, with that being said, open to panel, open to community. Any questions about how you're feeling when you visit your doctor? If they are giving you the kind of care that you like, and what the best alternatives for getting that. I appreciate your comments too, Anthony, about that. Looking and following alternatives.
I come from a family of doctors, and I was one of the few people who did not pursue that profession. So it was a great disappointment, But and also making a career in Manhattan, as a writer and editor. I mean, we didn't even we at the beginning, we're talking about decades ago. We didn't really have any money to have any health insurance, so we really had to take care of ourselves. We were aware of that. Now, a little older in a university town, it's more conventional. Have a doctor, and he's wonderful, and he checks my blood pressure and PSA counts and things that men have to go through. And I don't go as often as I can, but I've been traveling and back here, and I have an appointment soon. So I mean, I trust him. I feel sometimes when I walk into a jet plane, I have to trust the pilot.
Sure.
Well, I mean, I have to trust my family physician, and we feel he's really wonderful. He really cares, especially during this past year, during the pandemic. He's his group has been really wonderful. So maybe I got lucky, But I really feel it's really on a small part of taking care, taking care of myself. I'm a golfer, so I go out in the fairways, in the woods. I feel very good there.
Very, very, very good, very good. Now, how much of that trust you think is the basis of your relationship? Because the trust, as you put it, trust is essential. You have to trust your healthcare provider.
Yeah.
Have to trust them and feel like they're. But the way the world works now, we on particular healthcare plans, and and building the right trust with the doctor that does the work for you. It's not an easy process.
It's not, and I'd like to add, the trust is based on what he does or what she does. It's based on results. I just want to say, not to get back to this book about Semmelweis. See, Semmelweis found the cause and means of prevent, but he was persecuted. He was denied. He was eventually killed for his results, because men and women, essentially men. This is a world of men treating women in a deleterious way, and it's about really being open to listening to people who are doing new things, like Semmelweis does, and I'm sure other healthcare workers are doing now. Just listening and seeing what they're doing, and then support them rather than feel like, in Semmelweis' case, his superiors wanted credit for his discoveries. And so, I mean, there's all that kind of thing going on, to clear out, as someone mentioned earlier, mentioned all the noise. There's a lot of noise about it. So I think trust is based on results too,
Right. Well, thank you for that, Anthony. I share this with you. I mean, I tell this story with you. Dr. Charles Drew, who was the founder for blood transfusions in the early 40s, 50s. And many of you may not know that he was African American, but he was in a car accident, and he passed away because the hospital they took him to wouldn't give him a blood transfusion. Now, the irony of that, he invented the prospect of plasma, transfusion, and then he was in a car accident where he could not get a transfusion, and he died.
Wow.
So and now these may seem like our incredible conditions, but we raise these because we're in a place now where we could take health to the next level, and health could be our health and our condition and some of the ailments that we're facing. I'm confused by the prospect that if cancer was found, we found a remedy for cancer, that it would be so political. We wouldn't be able to get. We couldn't even be able to get the remedies. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but unless we take a more proactive level as patients, as people of conscience and people who are involved in that, then we're subject to, and we want to be the benefactors for, especially for our children, our children's children, and the next generations ahead. So these are just conversations that we want to engage with, and I think that we might include this on a regular basis because you guys are important and your families are important. And I want to bring to conversation opportunities that engage, discuss, consider, and evaluate what our choices and where our power is. Where our power is. Because your power, my power, our family's power is in health. Regular, consistent, maintaining our health. Because the numbers say that 1 in 4 people. Now, somebody did a study. I think it was Dr. Gunday. I think he's a supplemental doctor, but he did a study to say that there are more octogenarians in the Mediterranean area than any other place in the world. But you folks, 1 in 4 people will live to be 100 years old. I think the oldest person on the planet is 117 years old. 117. Now, that's amazing. I don't know how, if you think that's amazing, but I think that it is. So, last comments, any other questions, and then we'll close out. We'll move on to the next section. Was this helpful? Did you like this? Or did you have a question, Renee?
Well, I was just going to make the comment that health is, we've been talking a lot about physical health, and health is also about, your emotional health, your spiritual health. Things, I think as you think about caregivers and, the need for being in a space where you can give at the rate where caregivers, in particular, those with, very sick children. And I know that in my own family to be incredibly stressful. And so what are the things that you can do? And these are the things that decrease that emotional stress, because when we decrease emotional stress, we can increase productive action. You see, when we have high levels of stress, we take action, but it's usually reactive action. It's usually frantic, and so it gets very disruptive for those you're caring for, as well as for yourself, because that chaotic energy is not really very sustainable. So we need to look at our habits, and what are the habits that we have that serve us? What are the habits that don't serve us? What are the things we can do to decrease the emotional stress and increase our sense of inner peace? And those they're different for everyone. Actually, in the book, I go through these proactive approaches to really building strength in your emotional brain. And that can include things like, this morning for me, I get up every morning and I meditate, and then I journal and I do my yoga, because it proactively puts me in a better state than if I read my email right away and I get ticked off at half the things I'm reading, or I turn on the morning news and it gets me all fired up in a way that's not really helpful to me. And as you speak to, doctors in general, just kind of shifting here, I do want to say that I think what's most important for us about our health and our relationships with physicians, et cetera, is being our own advocate and ensuring that we are doing the homework. I was just at my homeopath yesterday. The allergies are out. I can feel it coming on. For me, I take ferocious notes. I'm always making sure that I'm capturing it. Again, it goes back to, it brings me more strength because I feel like I'm a part of that process. I'm in it. I'm asking questions. And when we're in the right mental space, we participate differently than when we're in fear. And that's a really difficult mental space.
That's good. That's good. Thing that I like for you to all reflect on now, so that you may not have people on this call, but last numbers show that we had about 538,000 people looking at our contest, our broadcast, our presentations. So you'll get plenty of access in terms of your presentations. Another point in reference is that you are not only the care protector for yourselves, you may find yourself doing that for your loved ones, people that you care about, and people that you have to advocate for, and people that you have to speak up for who can't speak up for themselves. So, and if any of you find yourself in that role, you're asking the right questions, qualifying the right information, processing the right path. And I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to have to be fearless.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might sound weird, but you have to be fearless when you're protecting, providing, and making and standing in for people that need you to stand up for them, because you may be the only voice heard.
I'd like to pick up on that, if I may. It's Anthony here. I just came back from 3 months of intense caregiving my partner to her mother, 94 years old, in Florida. So I was in a position, and I well understood that I was in a position of support, totally support, nothing about me. I had, I believe, reached the point where I could do that. And so that was the position every day, and that was knowing what was needed on both ends. Then what happened? And then what happened? Actually, we were supposed to come home together, and her mother fell and fractured her femur. So now that all changed, and then I realized that with all her other siblings coming down, I was in the way, and I came back temporarily. Point is being aware, knowing what the support system can embrace and what it cannot embrace. So I mean that was a point that I had reached where caring about myself really didn't matter as much as being a support system in someone close supporting someone else.
Good for you. Good for you, Anthony. I mean, you do have to remember what role you play and what aspect is important. And so, you got to work within the realm you're in. But and you never know. Because the thinking of it is, if you do it for somebody else, when your time comes, somebody will do it for you.
Hope so.
So that's
All right, I have to take over now.
I have to transfer over now. I hope you've enjoyed this segment. I hope it was of value. You got some benefit from it. We'll come back, and I want to thank and appreciate you all for participating, for your say-so, and the value add. And once again, we engage to engage again. Thank you. Godspeed. Now, Claire. On to you, Claire. Tell us.
Okay, hi everybody. So I think this is a great panel. So I think you all need to give yourselves a great hand. And I think we had 35 people. We had people coming in and out, in and out, in and out. I have to still figure out how I can get everybody on at the same time. But I think it's a great turnout. As Elton said, we have a better turnout when we do the broadcast. I think we were at 5 million last night, and so we've been getting more registrations. So thank you for hanging in with us on the viewership, but it is getting better every day. Now, I wanted to go into finding Lorena Saylor. Lorena, are you on? I saw Kingdom going once, going twice. Lorena Saylor, out of the walls. All right, so she's not on, but she probably is coming on. But I want everybody to, we do reviews. We're a magazine, so everybody wants to know who we are. So we are Brightside Global Trade Journal. It was a journal that Elton and I started in 2003. So we've been in business for 20 years. And we loved trade shows. So we should like to go to trade shows and write about them and stay in hotels and review them and do different products. But it's kind of now, with the pandemic, we've had time. And what comes to us, like the universe brings things to you. Each of you were brought to us today. But this year we did a lot of books because we had a lot of authors that came in our lives, and we are very grateful. So we are giving away our Brightside Review Award, and I have my drum roll. So we have some of them here today. So let me get right into that first. And Lorena, if you get on, please let us know. So we'll put you on to speak. And while I have this minute, I will get right to this slide. So we have Avida coming up. So Okay, here we go. There we go. It's going to take me to the beginning. So while we, wait, today's conference theme is Never Lose Your Power. And as you might have heard many authors today telling you about how you really never want to lose your power, because we are powerful as women, and we are powerful as business owners. We're powerful when we write a book. We're powerful because we're creating things which other people haven't created before. And so this is why we want to honor you, we want to thank you, and we want to tell you that you have done an amazing job. So Brightside Empirical Review Awards. The Brightside Empirical Review Awards is based on 9 things. So when I'm giving an award, it means a lot. And you will each get the logo, which has been designed by a designer called Dhaval Shah. So each of you will get the logo. If you want, you can put it on your website. If you want to do a press release, I will leave that to you. If you want to not do anything with it, that's fine. But it will be on our website. It will be on our materials, that we respect your book. We value what you brought to us today. And so the 9 things are based on experience, motivation, presentation, ideas, relevancy, innovation, creativity, accolades, and leadership. And so the drum roll. So the first award is going to go to Colonel Donna Four. She is retired from the U.S. Air Force, and we love her to death. She has been tirelessly making presentations every single week. We did 80 events last year, and she has been preparing all these presentations and empowering women in business during the pandemic. So we did 80 events last year, and we touched upon 1,000 businesses. And Donna has been really working so hard, teaching people about their financial health, what we need to know. And so she gets one of the Empirical Awards because she's a motivator, she's an innovator, she's a go-getter, and she's been there. Dr. John, you get an award. We gave him one last conference, but this one was for when your child has cancer. I'm not sure if we had a chance to talk about the book, but it is a book that brought a tear to my eye. And when you think about a parent going through, or a caregiver going through caring for somebody that has cancer, that is really, really a big thing. And so because the book was just so powerful, and it was a go-to resource to anybody who was caring for a child with cancer, we thought the book merited the 9 points. Dr. Shelley Plum, who left Braco Browns, and then Maddie, who's coming up this afternoon, and Michelle is coming up. Maddie was a woman that is a victim of child abuse. So she was abused by her mother. Michelle was abducted from her house, hit on the head, put in the trunk of a car, and raped. And she's coming up this afternoon. And Renee, we love your book, Head Trash. When we were reviewing this book, we just couldn't put it down. It was just so easy to read, and it was just a fantastic book. And then Betty Cooper was sold to prostitution, and so she'll be coming up later tonight, this afternoon. And then Dr. Kim is here, and Kim has written a children's book, but I absolutely love this book. I think it's just such an empowering book for any child during the pandemic. And so we thought it merited the 9 points. With this comes, of course, a review that will feature in the magazine. And so without further ado, I want to present this, and I'll email this to you as well. And so this is what your certificate will look like. and I'm going to stop my share, but I wanted to do this individually with each of you, but I don't know how to do that. So I want to congratulate Donna Farr. Everybody, please give her a big hand. We want to congratulate, who else? Dr. John, thank you for keeping us going and empowering us. And Kim, Dr. Kim, thank you so much, Dr. Kim. And I'll be emailing you as well. And then we lost Renee, did we? The head trash. All right, we lost her. All right. Now I see some new people on this call, and I want to make sure we talk to everybody. So I know we lose Brian because he's in Mumbai. So Brian, introduce yourself, and then we'll go around and introduce everybody. You'll get 5 minutes because we're still waiting for Lorena. She's not here yet. So if she's not here, we'll take this time to introduce each other. So Brian, please introduce yourself. Tell us what you thought about the day and what you're thinking about and things like that.
Yeah, it was a very empowering day. I mean, it was nice to hear what the women shared about their experiences. And I especially liked the technical aspects which Dr. John talked about, about not only about diabetes, but also various health issues. The caregiving aspect really touched a chord with me. So because as having had experience of caregiving myself for many years, so I looked after aged parents. It really brought out a lot of aspects which people are not aware of. And though, of course, the issue is about, the topic is about women as caregivers, of course, men also do play a very active role, as one of the participants himself shared, men also actually constitute, I think as caregivers probably constitute about 40% of the caregiving community. Of course, caregiving really needs a lot of important characteristics, I would say. I mean, for a person, and nobody is born a caregiver, but we can develop these over time, and when the opportunity comes. So, and I think it's in every human being, to go out and do their own little bit for caregiving. This conference, there's lots more to come, so I wouldn't be able to be there for the rest of the day because I'm here based in Mumbai, India, and it's now like closer towards midnight, so I will have to sign off. But before I do, I wish you all the best for the remaining of the conference, and I wish all those speakers and all those who have presented on their books and who have talked about financial planning, on health. It's been a very enriching day. I thanks Claire and Elton too for carrying this whole thing through, and have a good day, the remaining part of the day. Bye from my side. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Claire, I think we can't hear you.
Claire, you're mute on.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
Thank you, Brian, for staying up so late. We appreciate that and value you. We had a woman from Israel. We had 3 people from Europe this morning. So we've been doing early morning to help with the internationals. And the Californians are complaining now because they want us to be up later. So next conference we'll do late evening for West Coast and early morning for our European foreigner clients. So thank you so much, Brian. Stay as long as you can keep up, and we value you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Carol Brown is actually hosting a party tomorrow. As you know, when you go to a conference, the best part of the conference is the reception. And so we are actually starting something brand new. We've never done this before. We will be doing a party on Zoom after the conference is over. So we just thought that it'll be too tiring to do it today. So instead, what we're going to do is tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And Carol, we're getting a lot of people from the West Coast joining us tomorrow because that time suits them. And we've been jumping between 7 and 8, 7 and 8. So finally, everybody in the West Coast said 8. So we said, okay, fine, 8. So 8 it shall be. So tell us what to expect. And we're so excited about this party and everybody's coming. And so tell me all about it.
Okay, great day, everyone. Oh, first of all, I wanted to say that this has been a great morning. I got so much information about everything we need about our business, getting ready with the lighting and everything, health-wise, you know. We've all been caregivers. I've been caregiver of my mother and the things that you go through, and you do have stress and everything. So it was such a blessing for me to be here this morning, even though I didn't make it at 7, you know, but I did get here. What I heard was great. Yes. So exciting for the after party. Hopefully to see you ladies. What we're going to have a lot of information. We're going to have fun, and we all need a little fun in this time. Don't you think so?
Yes,
we all
need some fun.
Smile. We all need, and just to relax. And just relax and enjoy yourself. So we'll have prizes. We'll get to know each other a little bit more, and that's about it. Just to
we might even have a DJ, Carol. We might even have a DJ. So yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you don't know how to come, it's the same Zoom link for this conference at 8 o'clock. And if you can make it tomorrow on Friday, we're just going to let our hair hang down. We're just going to talk things and we're going to have fun. I'm going to plan a few games, so please make sure that you come. And Carol is giving away a lot of good stuff. So she gives the best prizes in the group. I also have some jewelry sets and some books from Dr. John that I'll be giving away. So everybody who's attended is going to be in the raffle drawing. So just for attending, we're going to reward you. And we want you to come back. Next month, we're doing Earth Day, agriculture. We're going to be talking about our planet and how we need to respect it and the foods that we grow and the gardens and what we need to know about food. Again, Dr. John will be with us. And so it's the 22nd is Earth Day. Now, so we start at 7, Alyssa, again. We will get the Europeans and we'll get the people from India, but the people that we are struggling with is the Australians and the New Zealand, because they want us to be at 4 o'clock. But I think we're going to have to let them just wake up and have an odd time. But we've got a lot of Australians wanting to join as well. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get them on Zoom as well. So Dr. John, tell us about your 4 books. And he continues to inspire me. He wakes up at 6 o'clock. He's on a podcast. And he's absolutely so busy working all the time. And I know he has a garden too. So Earth Day is going to be a very special day. And I also need to make an announcement. Today, there was almost 60,000 events around the world. Women from all over the world got together to discuss gender inequality. Now, the United Nations on March 8th celebrates the International Woman. And this year, the theme for the United Nations was gender equality. And I'm actually speaking on Saturday at a conference, and we've got that whole conference group noon. It's a professor who teaches political science, and they are doing a gender equality program, and they've asked me to speak. But what I'm trying to say is that women are very important. Women in business are very important because we are slowly coming of age. Now, I know I was talking to an author yesterday and she said, oh, but women are so messed up. Yes, women are messed up. It's going to take us some time to get into leadership roles and reset ourselves and figure out how we will live in this new world. But women are reaching a point of prominence, and we are getting there. And we're going to be talking about women against violence and things like that. So I want you to be aware of the power you have, and men who love women too, and the power of loving a woman and, you know, making her more powerful. So Dr. John, I've talked too much. It's on to you. Tell us about the books. We're going to be sharing those books with you. We hope you'll buy some of his books, if not one of his books, if not all four. But they're all fantastic. So Dr. John, tell us about your 4 books.
Well, the first thing is women decide what everybody else in the home are going to be eating. So
that's true.
So the first thing to decide, if you look at nature, from the food that nature provides for adults to get nutrients from, they all have one thing in common. They all require to chew them. You have to chew. And that's why I wrote the first book, Eat, Chew. What is happening is more and more foods available now, people eating without chewing. They are pureed, they are blended. When you do that, how do you decide how much? Once you make it, you don't want to waste it. So you end up consuming more. So unless the top of my said, how you eat matters more than what you eat. So that is the essence of this book. What to eat, how much to eat. The second, and that also is to control or prevent obesity, prevent diabetes. Those who already have diabetes, how to reverse it is the second book. And that is what we talked about earlier. Now, when I was diagnosed with cancer, I looked into that and how to survive. The point that I am making here is every one of us as an adult will have cancer cells in the body. That is a normal process. Almost every 10 years, you will have a cancer cell, but our immune system can kill it and take care of it unless the cancer multiplies faster. So if we can slow down the cancer cell and boost your immune system, you can survive. And this is what I am practicing. This is what is in the book. On an average, the age of an adult with cancer is 65. That is because we need to accumulate mutations. But the average age of a child with cancer is 6. The child has not lived long enough to accumulate mutations. So why is the child having cancer and what can be done? And that is presented in the last book, When Your Child Has Cancer. So that's in a nutshell. All of these are available on Amazon, and I have my website, drjohnonhealth.com.
I'll also do an email to thank you all, and look for my email. It'll have links of all the books and where to purchase them. And we encourage you to give them to somebody that might need them if you could buy a few more books. I'm pleased to announce that we have actually a database now of libraries, and I've been talking to a few academics, and we're going to be placing his book. So I'm hoping that it'll be placed here as well in Wayne County and all across North Carolina. So we're trying to get the book out there into stores, and we hope you will get it too. So thank you, Dr. John, and we look forward to expanding the knowledge and the wealth that you've given us. And I'm actually doing 8 weeks. So I'll let you know after 8 weeks how I do and how I do. So thank you so much. And we're in a CDC program, and we're going to be giving the books to everybody that's participating. So thank you for that. And I'll tell you how the team did. Now, if any of you would like to be on this 8-week program with Dr. John, Alyssa's going to spearhead it, and we're going to get a whole group of people involved to read the book and follow him. So let me know if you'd like to be on that program. I'm considering, because we do the first and third Monday with Donna in the group in the evening, but then we've got this international group now. So maybe we'll do that early morning with Dr. John's book. So I'll let you know about the programming for that. So let me know if you're interested in following him and following the 8-week program. I now want to introduce you to somebody that I really enjoy talking to, Dr. Kim. She's a horse. She's had a horse farm. She's had several businesses. She's done so many things in her life, and just such an interesting person. And the best part is her children's book that I absolutely love and that we've given her an award for. So Dr. Kim, tell us about yourself. And she's coming up at 1:30 to do a whole session with you. So please stay and listen to what she has to say.
Hello, it's nice to see all of you. I love the theme of this conference. I have been a support person for so long, having raised 4 amazing adults, and I am also a life coach and a trained licensed pastoral counselor. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I can offer and why it's important to develop some self-awareness so that you have some new tools to get through times of pandemic, because we know that we have this quote unquote new normal out there to deal with, right?
Yep. So thank you. And she's going to be on at 1:30. So make sure that you tune in and stay on. And Grover Jackson, I know he's not a speaker, but can you introduce us? Grover's written an amazing book with his 14 siblings, and it's such a story that you're going to love. So can you tell us a little bit about the book and introduce yourself?
Yes, book about 14 siblings. I'm number 8 in birth order. I was the first to go to college, first to leave the country, probably the first to return since I was the first to leave. And I went on to earn an MBA in finance, worked on Wall Street. I had 7 jobs in 5 years. And you're going to ask, and you're going to have to wait till the 22nd to find out how I was able to get those jobs in corporate America back in the early 70s, because it was a difficult time. But anyway, I had a really, really great career, and I enjoyed life. And I went back to Kenya, January 2020, just got back in before the pandemic. And I've written or had put together a presentation back to Kenya. And on the 22nd, I'll show a portion of that. But other than that, I do a lot of volunteer, do a lot of missionary work, supported missionaries, 2 schools in Kenya where we educate kids through, I guess, from going to school through college. And our only response to them was, when you get out, give back to the ministry or to the community. And then another friend of mine who you see on the 22nd, he studied here in Atlanta, Georgia, where I live. I live in Stone Mountain, actually 14 miles outside. And he got a doctorate and went back home, and I set up a ministry to help him. And the whole idea was to make a ministry self-supported. And he started with some chickens. And first one was 350 chickens or chicks, actually, small, we call them biddies when I was growing up in the country. And what was amazing to me, I saw his house, I saw where he raised the chicken, and only 7 of the 350 passed or died. And that's amazing to me, because living in the country growing up, that just didn't happen. But if you believe as I am, the Lord had his hand on those chickens and on him and his ministry. So other than that, I'm just enjoying life, and still doing volunteer work, still doing the fundraising for my college and the ministry of Kenya, and just looking forward to the 22nd. At which time, by the way, I hope my website. I'm sorry?
And tell us about the pecans.
Oh, that's a fundraiser for my college. I do that once a year. I have been doing it for 38 years for my college, and it happens only during the fall with pecans available and fresh. So I sell them as a fundraiser, send the proceeds on to the college to help kids get through college like myself, who didn't have the opportunity to have a parent to be able to support them financially. So of my family, which I didn't tell you, of the 14, 10 of us got college degrees. And it was all because of my mom urging and support, and I hate to use the word lecturing, but she always said, don't let people identify you. You identify yourself by what you're able to do from a positive sense. And so we did okay.
Yeah. So yes, so they've got this amazing book, and yes, you'll have to wait till the 22nd, which is our Earth Day, and we will bring some of them back, and they're just fantastic, and the book is fantastic, and his
Well,
trip
I will
to-
give the name of the book. I'm not trying to hide the name. I just
Do you
think
have a copy of the book to show?
Of
I
course
should have
do.
one. Yeah. All right.
I'll use
There we go.
yeah, there
Yep,
we go.
that's a beautiful book. Yeah.
It's
So if you like to think about a family and the whole story about their mother and all the generations, and it's just a beautifully written book.
And by the way, I,
so thank you.
I only wrote about 2/3 of the book. I asked these siblings who are still alive to write their own life stories. So 7 who's still alive, and the rest of us wrote about those who passed on. But it's 420 pages of a lot of fun, a lot of unbelievable stuff. But I guarantee you, every word in there is true. At least the ones I wrote. And I can't speak for my siblings, but I knew them and I know them. So there's a truth too. But there's some funny stories in there and some sad ones too. Particularly my love story. Hey, I mean, if you like love story, that's the whole chapter in there on love. Chapter 11.
And Kim says, "Are you going to make a movie?" I think it's movie material. Yes. And you're in Tyler Perry's domain, so why not? So my next wonderful supporter said something to me yesterday. I'm here for you. So Mrs. Wooten, and I see her lovely sister here too. So tell us about what you do to introduce yourselves. And thank you for joining us.
I thank you for giving me opportunity to say something, but it's so wonderful to have you in our community and bringing so much to enrich the community. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Wow. What a wonderful
Eunice Hudson, would you like to say something? Thank you for joining our call. It's lovely to see you.
It's lovely to hear what you're doing.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here. And Nancy is busy helping you with the technology. She's waving. Okay. And Alyssa, my goodness, she was fantastic today. We have Alyssa. We met an amazing guy, Frankie, on our last health reset. And Frankie is blind. And he is one of the most inspiring people I've ever met. And he couldn't be here because he's busy writing his book. And Alyssa's in the book. She's one of the authors. But Alyssa came to us through that, and she did a fantastic job this morning. Everybody who was here at 7:45 will tell you that she was amazing. So thank you, Alyssa. So tell us, Alyssa, about anybody needs a training. Come on, everybody needs to exercise. She's here to train you on Zoom. So tell us about what you do. And all of you who want a trainer, here you have one.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. It's been a pleasure to be a part of these just because I've already been connected with a lot of people, whether serendipitously or, no matter what it is, it's just really cool. So this morning was a lot of fun. It was just kind of a little bit about, if you get to watch the recording or the replay, just talking about how to start the day off nutritionally, with exercise, with movement, how to put you in a position to embrace your power. And our internal power really comes from our nutrition, from our movement, from understanding what it is that our body needs. So if you have any questions at all, I am more than happy to answer them. No question too big or too small. I am offering 15-minute free strategy calls for anyone that's interested in just kind of diving deeper, finding out what your routine might benefit from, especially first thing in the morning. I do a lot of health and wellness, speaking on stress management, sleep, exercise, nutrition, and then also sauna use and some of those other extra little 5% bonuses that if we're practicing a lot of these healthy behaviors, it can really help just enhance our life, live longer, live healthier, and healthier, happier, stress-free lives if we have that opportunity. So thank you. That is me.
Yep.
I will put my information in the contact or in the chat if anyone's interested.
Yes,
Good job.
we are.
Good job, Alyssa. She's just amazing.
So
What a great
if you
start.
want to exercise during the pandemic, she's available. So book appointments. She's giving you a free session. So book appointments with her and make sure you get on that. And Rainey's going to be speaking next. What is the time? Because my clocks are all gone
1 o'clock,
crazy.
darling. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. So Rainey, we have you on time. So Rainey's going to be our next speaker, but Rainey, do you mind if I can quickly introduce the next 5 people and then bring you on? Okay. So I'm going to save you for your time when you start speaking. We've talked to Donna. Aveda. Aveda is a brand that I actually love. It's a hair product, and we are going to be working with South Point. This afternoon, we have, I think, 5 retailers, Williams-Sonoma, we have Brighton, we have about 5 try because they're very busy, but then we're going to have the Cadillac showroom. So South Point is something that our group is going to adopt. And what does that mean? That means we're going to go there and have some shopping events. We're going to have some food and we're going to have some fun. It's a beautiful mall. And as you know, our retailers are hurting and they have to get themselves back up. And so as our women group has become so powerful, I am planning to take a trip, and Jonna loves to meet people. She's been saying, get out of Zoom. So all those people who have Zoom fatigue, we will be going to Aveda. So he's coming up at 2:30, but can you tell us quickly about Aveda? And I've got some slides as well, which I'll show you at 2:30. Yeah.
Thank you, Elizabeth. My name is Scott Besthorn. I'm actually the team leader here at the Aveda store at Streets of South Point. I am a licensed esthetician. After doing my career in corporate training, store setup, all that good stuff, I decided it was time to take care of me. So I'm putting my mask on first before putting everybody else's mask on. It's all about mind, body, spirit. It's about wellness. It's about being holistic. We are a hair care, skin care, body care company that's also all based on Ayurvedic principles. And I know that Elizabeth is a lover of it. And I hope to convey that on this afternoon in my 2:30 presentation with you guys. Thank you so much.
Yes. And we have a lot of women that have, I didn't really advertise it, but I know that you're going to be there for Earth Day. And so we'll work on some more advert because I know there's a lot of people that are very brand conscious. So yeah, so that's great. So I have with me the next person, Brian's out, Violet. We've never met you, Violet. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes. And make sure I have your email so we can put you on our mailing list. Yes.
Definitely.
So tell us about yourself, Violet. How did you get to know about our group?
I saw it online. I'm connecting from Manchester, from the UK.
Ooh, welcome. Yes.
Cross the pond. Cross the pond.
Yeah. So I'm a mom. I'm a caregiver to my daughter. I've got a daughter, 6-year-old. She's autistic.
Okay. Well, very good.
And I've had some really good information when I listened to Alisa in the morning, And also when you talked about not giving up your power because sometimes it's really tiring, it's difficult. So I had to give up my job to look after my daughter full time.
Okay. Well, you haven't given up your power because of that. In fact, you planted your power.
I felt really lost, but I've had so much, I've had some really, really good information.
Very good.
And I feel energized and
we have to tell many of the people in the UK about our program and have them sign on for our program, and we'll send you a calendar of events coming up. And so I guess everybody's buzzing about Meghan and Mark and Harry now, but we won't get into that.
We won't get into that. But Violet, please give us your email so we put you on our mailing list, and we want to see more of you. And if we can support you while you're going through caring for a child, please let us know. We'll do whatever we can to help you. So we're here for you, and we meet on the 1st. That might be too late for you, but I'm trying to do a morning call for everybody who's international. But we love you. Thank you for joining. I applaud you for being a caregiver. That's why I wanted to have a caregiver session at the conference. So that's a very important role you're playing. And we will be praying for your sister, which comes to my officiant, Amanda. Amanda is, she marries people, and she's a wedding official, and I'm trying to get her to transition, and she's going to be at Kim's session. So Kim, you can talk to Amanda, and y'all can get together. So Amanda, can you tell us a little bit about the weddings that you've done and how you're going to transition as a spiritual coach?
Sure. My name is Amanda Clevenger. I am actually the owner and operator of Crystal Coast Officiant. I came into officiating literally by chance. About 6 years ago, my aunt asked me to just get ordained and to officiate her wedding to my now uncle. And the photographer asked for my card. And I said, I don't have a card. And just kind of how like you are led, whether you believe it's the universe or by God, you just fall into things. By day, if you can see the background, I'm a special education teacher. So I noticed that you said your child is identified. So that's amazing. Those are my people. That's what I like to call them, my kids. They see the world black and white, and that's a beautiful thing to me. So I moved to the Crystal Coast roughly a year and a half ago. Today is a 2-year anniversary of the passing of my brother. He died of a drug overdose 2 years ago today. And I was a beneficiary to a portion of his life insurance. He didn't have any dependents or a wife. And it gave me the opportunity just to kind of restart my life and to chase my dreams. So I opened a website, and I've been more active on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and then Brightside has invited me to join some of their events, and it's just a great way to network and with like-minded people who are advantageous in the business world. Just recently with weddings, I linked up with a group called Fusion Professionals, and they're a group out of Carteret County here at the Crystal Coast. Just a group of professionals. We also network, and we have what's called a fusion party at various venues that are in our group. Allows us to, talk to brides and grooms and, promote ourselves and our partners. And it's just amazing. My favorite part of officiating is meeting new people. So this club right here gives me an opportunity to do just that. I'm an Army brat, so meeting a stranger and befriending strangers is practically in my DNA. I absolutely love officiating. The other reason is because I feel like there are no mistakes. Like there's small chance meetings between people and individuals, and with love, there's no exception. So that's just kind of, I fell into everything that I've ever done by chance, by God, by fate, by destiny, by the universe. However, my child also has a special need. So I came into becoming a special education teacher the same way. I had a kid. I was like, I might as well do this. And so I just appreciate every time Elizabeth gets me on the phone and on the computer, and I'm able to network and to just meet people from across the world and across the pond and talk business, talk life, and experience. So that's just a little bit about me.
Yes, and we really, really enjoy Amanda every time she's able to come. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
So my next speaker is somebody that I really love, and she's come to me, as they say, and has been both a friend and a wonderful client, Renee York. And she's written a children's fiction novel called Quantum Leap. But today she's going to take her Reiki master role, and she's going to teach us how to breathe. So I don't know how many of you may know, it's very, very important to learn how to breathe. If you're in an emergency situation, if something happens to you, you need to learn this technique. so you know what to do and how to breathe. Now, Renee, can you see us, or would you prefer me to do a gallery format?
I can see some of you.
Would you like to see all of us, or?
No, that's
Let me
okay.
see.
It might be distracting.
Okay. Okay.
Later, I'd
All
love
right.
to see you all.
Yes. Go ahead. Tell us everything. We're so excited.
Okay, well, I'm Rainey York, and I wanted to say, Grover, you and I used to be neighbors. My husband and I moved to Spokane, Washington last summer from Alpharetta, not that far from Stone Mountain, just a few miles, not so easy to drive it. And South Point, Aveda products, I'm very loyal to some of those products because they aren't sticky. Okay, so how do you breathe? You might say that breathing is automatic. My subconscious takes care of that for me. So why do I care? Well, that's a valid question. We're going to do a breathing exercise in a little while that's designed to put you into a state of heart-brain coherence. But first, I'm going to explain why heart-brain coherence is a powerful tool for us, not only for health, but also